This video is about the Apple Silicon path for local AI, specifically MLX, oMLX, and how they fit into a local coding workflow with Pi and OpenCode. I want to start below the model name. Most local AI conversations focus on parameters, benchmarks, and leaderboards. Those are useful, but they do not explain the full experience. On Apple Silicon, the important question is not only which model you choose, it is how that model runs, how it is served locally, and what kind of client is sending requests to it. The Nvidia path and the Apple Silicon path are built differently. In a typical Nvidia setup, the CPU and GPU are separate compute domains. The CPU uses system memory. The GPU uses dedicated VRAM. The AI workload is moved into the GPU execution environment, and the software stack is usually built around CUDA. Inside an Nvidia GPU, work is distributed across streaming multiprocessors. Apple Silicon takes a different approach. On Apple Silicon, the CPU, GPU, neural engine, media engines, and memory controller are part of the same system on chip. The CPU and GPU share unified memory. Instead of managing a discrete GPU with separate VRAM, the system works with one shared memory pool and an integrated compute fabric. This does not make Apple Silicon a CUDA replacement. It makes it a different target. MLX is Apple's machine learning framework for that target. It is designed around Apple Silicon rather than around a discrete Nvidia GPU. MLX supports lazy computation, dynamic graph construction, composable function transforms, and unified memory. So MLX is the local machine learning framework and model execution path for Apple Silicon. oMLX sits above that. oMLX is the operational layer. It gives you a local application, a dashboard, a model manager, and an OpenAI-compatible API server. It turns the MLX model path into something that other tools can connect to. The model is the neural network. MLX is the Apple Silicon runtime path. oMLX is the local server and control layer. Pi, OpenCode, Cursor, or another client can connect to that local endpoint. Once you look at the stack this way, the workflow becomes easier to reason about. The oMLX dashboard is the control surface. From the dashboard, you can see available models, load a model, unload a model, adjust generation settings, check server state, and control how the local model is exposed to other applications. I prefer to test oMLX in layers. First, confirm that the oMLX server is running. Second, confirm that the model appears in the model list. Third, load the model. Fourth, test direct chat or a direct API request. Fifth, connect an external client like Pi or OpenCode. This sequence keeps the setup easy to debug. If direct oMLX chat works, then the model and server path are working. If Pi works but feels slower, then Pi is adding some wrapper overhead. If OpenCode works but feels slower, then the agent prompt is likely larger. This is normal for coding agents. A coding agent is not only sending your typed message, it may also send system instructions, tool definitions, permissions, project context, and workflow rules. The model has to read that prompt before it starts generating. That input reading phase is called prefill. For direct chat, the prompt can be small. For an agentic coding tool, the prompt can be much larger. So, the same model can feel fast in oMLX chat and slower inside OpenCode. That does not automatically mean the model is slow. It means the client request is heavier. Pi is a lighter option for local coding experiments. To connect Pi to oMLX, the main pieces are the provider name, the base URL, the model name, and the local API key. The model name should match the name exposed by oMLX. The API key is the key created inside oMLX for the local server. Once those are set, Pi can send requests to the local oMLX server instead of a cloud model. OpenCode follows the same idea. You define an OpenAI-compatible provider, point it to the oMLX base URL, provide the local API key, and select the model name exposed by oMLX. The difference is that OpenCode is a fuller, agentic coding environment. It can carry more instructions and tool context. That can be useful, but it also increases the amount of text the model has to process before responding. That is why I would test direct oMLX first, Pi second, and OpenCode third. Direct oMLX tells you the raw model and server behavior. Pi tells you how a lighter coding client behaves. OpenCode tells you how a fuller agent workflow behaves. The flow is simple. oMLX owns the model process. oMLX exposes the local API endpoint. Pi or OpenCode sends the request. The model runs locally through the MLX path. The response returns through the oMLX server. This is the clean mental model for using MLX and oMLX on Apple Silicon. Apple Silicon is useful for private local inference, developer experiments, local coding workflows, and research on the machine you already use. MLX gives Apple Silicon a native model execution path. oMLX gives that path a local server and dashboard. Pi and OpenCode give you different client experiences on top of the same local endpoint. For a practical setup, I would keep the process simple. Install oMLX. Start the local server, load an MLX model, test direct chat, then connect Pi, then connect OpenCode, compare the response time at each layer. If oMLX is fast but OpenCode is slower, inspect the agent prompt and context size. If oMLX itself is slow, inspect the model type, backend path, context window, token limits, and server settings. That is the practical way to work with local AI on a Mac. Do not debug everything at once. Validate the server, validate the model, validate the client, then tune the workflow. For my current Apple Silicon workflow, the stack is clear. MLX is the runtime path. oMLX is the local server. Pi is the lighter coding client. OpenCode is the heavier agentic coding client. The value of this setup is control. The model runs locally, the API runs locally. The client can be changed without changing the model server, and each layer can be tested separately.